Come by here, Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Oh, Lord. Come by here. I remember it, Lord, just like it was yesterday. I remember getting out that wagon, dusting all that hay and stuff off of me, and I could see the sign, and I saw the house right there. They said that was the grand station where I could go in and meet Levi Coffin and get my paperwork. Now I couldn't read and I couldn't write. Y'all remember that? I left here when I was 93. But that's just because the Lord had so much favor on me. But I could just see my freedom. Because I always did say, give me liberty or give me death. I was going to have one or the other, for sure. But now, before we get started, let me take it back. Lord have mercy on my soul. Truth be told, I am certainly glad to be here today. But before I get started, I need to thank a couple people. Let me see. Now, the first one I need to thank is, I believe her name is Marva King. Now, I never met her before, but I believe our spirits have met. Is Marva King here somewhere? I just want to see her raise her hand. She's not in here. Oh, there she is. Beautiful soul. Look at her. And the next person I need to thank is Pastor Dunnigan. Is Pastor in here somewhere? He's not here because I want to thank him for allowing my kindred spirit to come and reside in this here place today. You see, because you can't invite all kind of spirits into your church. You just can't do that. Ain't no telling what you're going to end up with. So I want to thank him. And then last but not least, I want to thank Krista Baynard Norman. I want to thank her because you see she's my host today. She allowed me, my ancestral spirit, to reside inside of her body. Because Lord wasn't having me come down here and bring nothing and bring it back up there. Now God wasn't having that. So I had to be housed inside of her body. And so I thank her. I've been with her all week long anyway. And we got along just fine until this morning. We had a couple bumps in the road, you see. She knew we was coming over here, and she said she had never been to this church before, so she had her little clothes laid out and everything, and I was looking at what she wanted to wear, Lord Jesus. Now, I know y'all probably know her, you see, because she's an artist, and she's also a poet and all these things, but them colors. I said, baby, you're going to represent me. I'm not going to represent you today, so I'm going to need you to do something a little different. So, she didn't like it, but she changed, she toned it down. And then I seen her in the mirror. Because y'all know her, she got all that hair and stuff going on all day. I said, baby, you just take this and wrap it on up for a little while, if you don't mind. And she did. She wrapped it up and everything. So I thank God for that. Now we're going to go ahead and move on. If you got 3 birthdays, I need to see your hand. Boy, that's what I thought. I was the only one. You see, because some of them places you look in the books and researches and stuff, they got me born in 18, 20, 21, 22. Go on and pick one, that's what you do. You see, because they didn't keep track of slaves. They didn't have no records and no documentation. They didn't care when we was born. All they wanted to know is that we was born and could do the work. Grow up and do the work, be in them fields and work around them plantations, you know what I mean? So that's what was happening there. And now let's see, far as where I was born, some of the books say I was born in Bucktown, Dorchester County, down there in Cambridge, Maryland. But all I say, as long as you know I was born on the eastern shore, that's all that matters to me. Because I'm a country girl, you see what I'm saying? Down there in Maryland, that's all that matters, baby. There you go. Bless his heart. I can feel his spirit. So I'm just so glad about that. And then last but not least, my name. If you know my name, my born name was Harriet Tubman. Let me see your hands. Oh. Look at all the wrong people. That was not my wrong name. My mama named me Araminta Ross, and they called me Minty. I didn't change my name to Harriet till I was about 21 or 22 when I decided to run. That's when we could talk about that a little later, but that's when I changed my name. But anyway, and if you had your first job when you were 7, no, just me again? All right. I had my first paying job when I was 7 years old. Of course, I didn't get paid. I didn't get narrowed down. That money went to Mr. Boldis. You see, what he did was hire me out as a babysitter. Now I'm 7. I'm a baby myself, but they hired me out as a babysitter. And that story goes like this. You know, they put me in the wagon, carried me on down, around the bend, and back again. So I go into the house, and I got the baby bottle, and I'm rocking the cradle. I get up and look out the window. I mean, how much can you see out that one window? And you dare not touch nothing. Because if you touch something and you break it, Lord have mercy, you be singing that song, "This may be the last." You know, just like, if you break something, it wouldn't be your last time. So I didn't touch them. I just looked out the window, rocked the baby, and I sit in the chair, and my mistake was falling asleep. Lord, she came down them steps and beat me like a drum. Oh, Jesus. I said, when she hit me once more, my feet hit the floor and I hit the door, and I was out. I tell you, I believe God put a tracker in me way back when I was 7 years old. Because I got down that road, you hear me, hit that corner, and I knew my way back home. And Mama took care of me and rubbed me down and patched me up. Next morning, just like clockwork, I was back in the wagon again. They carried me back around there, and this time, when the time I stepped my foot in the door, she said, "You fall asleep again today. You're like that little baby scream and holler again today, and you're gonna regret it." I said, "Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am." I was sucking up snot and everything, but you know, tried my best to stay awake. But it happened again, y'all. I feel right. Ooh, she came down them steps, but she was slick this time. She walked past me. You know what she did to the door? Hello. She locked the door so I couldn't get out. Woo, she beat me something terrible. I fell in a heap right there at the base of the door. And her husband came home, scooped me up, threw me in the wagon, carried me on home. Only this time I seen Mr. Boldis give him some money. So that means I guess I ended my job career quickly. So I went on in the house and I cried and I cried and I told Mama, I said, "Mama, please don't send me back around there. She gonna kill me." So Mama talked to Mr. Boldis and they let me work up at the big house. I was so glad about that. I helped Mama do different chores, you know, and things like that. And then I stayed there till I was about 12 years old. And here come Mr. Boldis again with a brainy idea. He took me down to the river's edge. I had no boots, I had no gloves, and I'm in that cold, smelly water catching muskrats. Putting them in the trap. Child, it was coming so fast, sometimes I had to grab them with my hands and put them in them little baskets, you know. And after about, about a month of that, I got so sick. I had a high fever, but I tell you what, my mama, she should have been a nurse. My mama would go out there in the fields and out there in the forest, collecting them dandelions, getting them herbs and things, and she would come back and make medicine and them salves and stuff to put on you. Now, I ain't gonna stand up here and tell you that it smelled the best. I ain't gonna tell you that it tastes the best either. But I tell you what it did do, it did the job. It broke my fever. Hallelujah. And I got better, and I didn't have to do that no more, thank goodness. Now my daddy, Big Ben, you see, he was a forester. He worked out there in them trees and things, you know, getting them right and chopping them down and getting the wood packed up and putting it against the house for the winter. And also for to go in town so they could sell some to the marketplaces. So I told my daddy, I said, "Daddy, I want to do that. I want to be able to chop wood." He said, women don't do this. This ain't for girls, this for men. But I just kept on nagging him and nagging him. So one day he said to me, he said, you know what? You ain't gonna learn till I let you see. He said, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this here log on this stalk. He said, and I want you to stand wide-legged like this with this axe. He said, and go on and shoot your best shot. Well, I shot my best shot. I hit it and split it, stacked it and packed it. And Daddy looked at me. Well, Lord have mercy. He said, look at that girl go. Oh, then I have me a job. You hear me? That's what I did. I had that wood all stacked up there, ready to go. Because I didn't like talking to a bunch of people. I'd rather be by myself. You know what I mean? Be by myself. So I was out there in the yard one day, and this white Quaker lady came by. And she beckoned to me. Now I'm looking around because I'm partly scared to go, you know. But I inched over to the fence to see what she wanted. She gave me a small piece of paper, and she said, if you ever want to be free, she said, I'm going to help you. She said, just follow the instructions on this paper, and I'll help you. So I put the paper in my pocket because it didn't mean nothing to me. It just looked like lines and squiggles and stuff. Because like I said, I couldn't read. I never learned to read. But when we had our Sunday go to meeting services and stuff down the road, I had a friend that could read the Bible. Now, he was good. And he knew the words, and he was able to tell me what it said. So I said, oh, yeah? I said, so what direction is that? So he told me. And what God did for me, he gave me the mental capacity to remember, to be able to recall things, you know. Whenever I needed, I could call it back up. Indeed, I did. So I put that in my little memory on my little tablet in there. So when I needed it, I'd be able to go back to it. And as I grew up to become a teenager, I was in the general store. I never will forget this. So I'm in there, Mr. Bodas out there in the wagon waiting on me. And meanwhile, a slave walked in by herself. Oh, God, that's a no-no. You don't go anywhere by yourself and think you're safe. So I'm in there, and the overseer happened to spy him coming in by himself. He said, hey! The slave looked at me, and he started inching back, you know, up towards the door. So the overseer said, hey, you, grab a hold of him. I act like I ain't even hear him. I just kept on carrying my back, closed the door. And he said, hey, girl, you. So I turned around to see who in the world was he talking to. And just as I turned, he threw that 2-pound weight, and that's where I got this gas from. Hit me right in my head, and I stayed knocked out for about a week and a half, almost close to 2 weeks. Well, Mama and them thought I was dead. But Mama never gave up on me. Ain't that something? Somebody prayed for me, I promise you. And then, next thing you know, I came to. But I suffered so bad from that. I believe they call it epilepsy. Said I had that, and I would have such terrible dreams and visions. But like I said, I believe that was nothing but God, you know, working with me, preparing me for the journey that was lying ahead of me. You know what I mean? That's what I think. So when I got back to being normal, to being myself, I messed around and got a husband. I know y'all know about that. Yeah. So I called myself, you know, talking to him, and I said, you know what, because he was a free man. He already was free. So I said, well, you know, if I could just make it up north, I could be free too. And then we come back here, you know, and get the family and everybody. He said, what? He said, if you leave here, I'm going to tell Mr. Brodus you plan to run away. Well, I knew then that he was going to have an X mark in his spot. So I said, okay. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said, I don't even know where I got that idea from. But I told my two brothers, because, you know, they said that they was going to run with me. So no problem. We was going to all run away together. And we started singing, down by the riverside, because that's where we was going to meet. See, now we use songs as signals.
Yeah.
We sing, and we know where we going to meet at. And if it's going to be in the morning, if it's going to be late at night. Woo, we be singing, but you just got to pay attention to the song going on and who calling it, you know what I mean? So we met out back and had our little doodads in the bag, and we walked in a single file, went on down to the crossroads. And my one brother, I believe it was Henry, said, I'm going back. I said, back where? He said, I'm going back to the house. He said, because I believe if we get caught, it's going to be worse on us or on mama and them than it was the first time. So I said, well, I ain't going back. And then my other brother, he going to chime in with him. He said, I think I'm going back too. I said, well, all right, God bless y'all. I said, because I'm here now, and I got to run on and see what the end gonna be. And so they went back, and I went forward, and I made it to the lady's house, and I knocked on the door. She opened it up and got me in there right quick. And she said, what's going to happen? She said, my husband in the morning will take you to the next station. By the way, the underground is not a railroad station, and it's not underground. It's a transformation of houses, people, places, and things. They help you to get from one point to the other. Okay, so that's what their mission was. And so she told me, she said, now, I got everything for you right here, and in the morning, we're going to put you in the bottom of the wagon, and get you to your next destination. So I said, okay. So she said, well, go ahead and get you some rest. So I didn't know. I'm 21. I never laid in a bed before. Well, I was going to lay in that one. So I made me a little pad on the floor. She came in and shook me and woke me up. I said, it's time to go. She said, no, why ain't you in the bed? I said, I didn't know. Lord, I got in that bed. It felt so good. I never knew, had no idea, Jesus, what a bed could feel like. So anyway, I'm in the bed, and then finally, by and by, husband come, get up. I get in the wagon, and they take me on to the next point, to the next point. By and by, I end up in Wilmington, Delaware, up there at the Quaker House. I swear I met Thomas Gary. He was an angel in my life. I tell you, that white man was so helpful. And he the one that got me in the wagon and got me to go to Pennsylvania, where I met Levi Kaufman, who was the station master of the Grand Station up there. They help you get a job, help you get money and food to eat, and all those things came into play. And so that's what I did for a whole year. I was a cook. I washed dishes. I did it all. I had a little marketplace, and I saved my money and everything. And I proudly walked back into that station, and I said, now, what do I need to do to become a conductor? They said, what? I said, a conductor, on this underground railroad. They said, oh, no. You ain't got to worry about that. We're going to take care of that. You just keep on living your life. I said, wait a minute. My mama and them, they still back down there in Maryland. My sisters and brothers, I got to go and get them. They said, oh, we'll take care of that. I said, when? He said, well, I can't tell you right now. He said, that's what I thought. I said, I tell you what, either you going to help me or I'm going to help myself. Which one's going to be? So they saw how determined I was, and so they went on and decided to help me. They gave me a wagon. I went on back down as far as I could without getting caught. As you can see, read it for yourself, or use that new man they got called Google and check it out. See, I ain't never got caught. He'll tell you, I promise you, just like a dream come true. And I made it back and forth. I was able to get there. And the last trip was when I brought Mom and Daddy back. They was in their 70s, and I know ain't nowhere in the world they was going up and down and around and through no water. So I had to bring them back in a wagon. Got them up to Canada, where my other brothers and sisters and them were, and then we crossed over. I crossed over to Auburn, New York, because I always wanted to have school for children. I wanted to have me a old folks place where old people could live and be taken care of, and that's what I did. And the ironic thing, did I say ironic? I'm sorry. The crazy part about it, I must got that word from Crystal. The crazy part about it is that I lived in my own home for 2 years. They had to take care of me, and I died at age 93 of pneumonia. That's when God called me on home, and I oh Lord. The bell done rang. That's my chariot. I got to get ready to go, but I just want you to know that it's been beautiful being here sharing my story with you. And if you want to know any more, look me up, Harriet Tubman. Okay? Crystal's coming back because she got something she wants to. She. At this time, I would like to call Marvin King up, and Greg, you can stand for the pastor. As I was saying, Deacon who? Deacon Wynn? Okay, you'll come forward, please. Like I said, I am an artist, and so I wanted to give this to your church. And it's Harriet Tubman. It's a rendering that I did in pastel, which is a soft chalk. And if you get a chance to look at it, if you look at her jacket, it looks like it's so beautifully designed. Well, that's the Underground Railroad. You'll see slaves, her with her shotgun and her lantern, leading the people to safety. And that is your pastor. Marvin King, the reason that I'm here, I certainly thank you. And you know, slaves ain't got much money, so that's why I ain't got no frame. You're welcome, love. Of Harriet and her husband out in the field picking that 100% cotton. And Lord have mercy, I got to pick 200 pounds before I stop. So that's what she got right there. And if you draw, where's that box that they had all those numbers in? Can you draw a number out of there? I got a giveaway. You can pull any number.
Okay, we're going to pull a number, but if you already got a door prize, you can't have this. So this is, the last three numbers are 3, 5, 4.
And what I have for you also is a print, because I know that when Harriet was born, she had to be a baby, but I never saw pictures of her really when she was a baby, you know what I mean? So I said, well, I'm going to make my own rendition of what baby Harriet would look like with her little gunny sack on, sitting on a pile of clothing. You are so welcome. This is the end of my presentation, but as we all know, I'm a poet, and so I gotta go out just like that. Harriet Tubman was born with a vision. You see, she saw this thing while she was on a mission. She saw her life flash before her eyes. It was right then and there. Harriet was made to realize that, my God, yes, I'm born with a purpose. You see, we just need to look beneath her surface to see all of the beautiful things that Harriet has done, and to realize that just because she was a slave, that doesn't mean that the battle is over and nobody won. You see, I no doubt she spent a many a day with her face turned towards the sun, boiling and toiling and wondering, God, what is it that I have done? But today, as she resides in heaven, I bet she can no longer say that she don't feel that way. You see, she no longer feels inferior because God has anointed and appointed and made her superior. Now, having been given the title of Mother Earth and a task to go forth and multiply and give birth to what future nations and generations and heads of state? I mean, just like Harriet, we all have so much to do. So why wait? And when the smoke clears in just a few more years, can't you just see yourself reigning and ruling all over God's land? Trying to get some of you to understand that for some of you, this just might be an awesome piece of poetry. But for those of us with the third eye that can plainly see, this is actual reality. And who am I? Crystal Vayner, straight out the box and off the chain.